You ain't geek. Too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'm a running back. Ay. Same day, why I'm a running back. Friday, payday, running back. Ay. Running back, running back, running back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew. So I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait.
Hey everybody, it's the...
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. From the corner, Jimmy Smith blitzes for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shane Ray, and boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here at 1st and 10. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. From 4 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
the timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoff.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Will Fuller's one of the young flyers in the NFL and gets to top speed in just a couple of steps, so everyone has to respect the deep game because he'll blow past people in a hurry. But what that does is leaves open space underneath. He can take the short pass, turn it into a bigger game because he makes people miss. If he takes care of his hands and doesn't drop a pass or two in a game, he's going to be one of the best receivers in the league.
From the 50, it's Watson. That's complete. It's Collins. You give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. They'll run the counter with Collins. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, look now at our starting defense. They're right around the middle of the pack, number 15 in the NFL against the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Collins. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Darren Lee there to get him down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Now Watson, and that will be incomplete. And now Adam Vinatieri is into his 40s now. You'd think low to mid-50s, probably about the outside of his range. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. It wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Jackson, the linebacker, Zach Cunningham there defensively to make that play. Boy, excellent coverage there. Last week he had the interception, one reason why he was the AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
So no jokes about not having hands, right? Because he got the pick last week. This week, he's knocked down a ball in this game so far. Let's see if he can get an interception as this one continues.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Watson on 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, you know, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Neal. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson escaping the pressure right. Mark Andrews there to make the grab. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Here's a first down run with Collins. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And Thomas has it. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. Now it's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Neal. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike. I'm coming.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. So we have reached halftime here with an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. Oh, a nice spin. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you turn that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
From the 29, Watson looking for the end zone. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. ThatBoiiKT, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have retaken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Geno Atkins able to record his 5th sack of the season. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Ingram. And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play. We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Adoree Jackson right there, step for step in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Here's Jackson. Steps away. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And he's got it. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. They go play action here on first down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Matt Judon there to bring him down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. This will be fielded at the 8. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down,
Caused all of that.
it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson eluding, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
To throw is Jackson, and that is incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. He uncorks it for Snead. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
2nd down and goal. Watson, and got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Texans push further out in front. Well, they sucked the defense in with a play fake, went over the top.
And I know from past experience, when offenses do that, a lot of times the defense guys are screaming at them, run the ball, run the ball. The offense doesn't really care. They got 6 points.
And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. Able to spin free. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he's probably wondering, how do I get that mojo back from the first half that he seems to have lost a little bit here in the 3rd quarter?
And every guy has his whisperer on the team. You know, that one guy who can say things to him that other people can't. Right now, he's looking for that guy to kind of, hey, we're good. We're good. 1 interception. Just get it back. Get back to being who you are. And this team will be okay.
Yeah, because they led at halftime, trailing now. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, Find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Houston, it's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. On 2nd down, Collins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Alex Collins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they will be backed up deep as they'll have to start the drive from the 6-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. He backed up into